Look at your hands, right now. Are they holding a device, or are they holding the reins of your life? We are living through a quiet catastrophe. It's Monday, June 1st, 2026, and the world has never been louder. We call it connectivity, but let's call it what it actually is, a tactical weakness. Every notification is a breach in your perimeter. Every scroll is a micro-surrender of your sovereignty. You think you're staying informed. You think you're networking. But in reality, your ability to think truly, deeply original thought is being eroded like a shoreline in a hurricane. While the world screams for your attention, the world's greatest minds are doing something that would terrify the average person. They are weaponizing total silence. I'm not talking about a digital detox or a weekend at a spa. I'm talking about the brutal ascetic isolation required to build a vision that actually lasts. I'm talking about reconstructing the ancient rituals of the desert hermits and mountain monks, not for religious piety, but for mental combat. Welcome to Stoics' Final Days. Today, we aren't just seeking peace. We are building a mental fortress. We are mapping the architecture of silence. Are you disciplined enough to endure the isolation, or is your mind already property of the machine? Let's find out. By mid-2026, the human brain has become a fragmented map of half-finished thoughts. We are living in the age of the AI-driven stimulus, where algorithms know your weaknesses better than your mother does. They feed you exactly what you need to stay in a state of reactive anxiety. This hyperconnectivity has created a fragmented strategic mind. You can't plan 10 years ahead when you're checking a screen every 10 minutes. You can't build a legacy on 280 character insights. Think back to the 4th century, the desert fathers of Egypt. These men didn't head into the wilderness because they hated people. They headed into the wilderness because they realized that the social self, the version of you that cares about status, reputation, and the opinions of the marketplace, is a hallucination. It's a mask that smothers the raw cognitive power beneath. They practiced anachoresis withdrawal. They believed that to find the truth, you had to remove the external self. In our modern context, deep work is the buzzword. But let's be honest, deep work isn't enough anymore. Sitting in a quiet office for 4 hours with your phone in the drawer is a start, but it's not a ritual. It's not an architecture. To survive the attention economy of 2026, you don't need better time management. You need an ascetic response. You need to become a stranger to the world for a while. The crisis isn't that we are busy, it's that we are occupied. Like a city under siege, every corner of our consciousness is filled with foreign soldiers, other people's ideas, other people's crises, other people's metrics of success. The ascetic response is the scorched earth policy of the mind. You burn the distractions to the ground so that only the foundation remains. Most people try to manage their distractions. They turn off push notifications. They use app timers. This is like trying to stop a flood with a sponge. To master deep strategy, you must move toward radical sequestration. In the high mountains of Tibet or the monasteries of Mount Athos, monks don't just try to be quiet. They build physical and mental cloisters. They create a fortress of the mind. The first step is identifying your phantom limb syndrome. Have you ever felt your pocket vibrate when your phone wasn't even there? That is a neurological scar. It is a sign that you are no longer a sovereign entity. You are a node in a network. To break this, you need a physical and mental kill switch. This means designing a space and a block of time where the connected world literally ceases to exist. It's not enough to be offline. You must be unreachable. The difference is psychological. If you know you can be reached, a part of your brain remains in a state of vigilant waiting. It's waiting for the ping. It's waiting for the validation. Radical sequestration is about transitioning from passive quietude, which is just sitting in a room being bored, to the active construction of a private strategic reality. Think of it as building a laboratory. In this lab, you are the only variable. No social media, no emails, no quick check-ins. You are stripping away the noise to reveal the raw architecture of your own strategy. You are moving from a reactive participant to a proactive architect. This is where the fortress begins. It starts with the realization that 99% of what you think is urgent is actually just loud. When you silence the volume, the urgency evaporates. What remains is the important. Now we enter the deep waters. What happens when the noise actually stops? Most people can't handle more than 6 hours of total silence before the internal screaming starts. Your mind begins to panic. It starts digging up old regrets, anxieties about the future, and a desperate craving for stimulus. This is the withdrawal phase. But if you have the discipline to push past the first 48 hours, something miraculous happens. Around the 72-hour mark of total isolation, the specific mental layers of the architecture of silence begin to emerge. The first layer is the sedimentation. Like a jar of muddy water being left still, the debris of other people's opinions begins to settle at the bottom. You start to realize how many of your goals were actually just reflections of what you thought would look good to others. The second layer is the void. This is the laboratory. In the void, you take your highest level goals and you stress test them without social validation. Ask yourself, if I could never tell a soul about this achievement, would I still want to do it? If the answer is no, your strategy is built on sand. It's a performance, not a purpose. The architecture of silence forces you to harden your vision. It strips away the secondary opinions and the market trends that dilute original thought. This is where deep strategy is born. It's not born from looking at data. It's born from looking at the truth of your own capabilities and desires. In the silence, you see the leverage points that were previously hidden by the glare of the screen. You see the move that makes all other moves unnecessary. Let's get practical. How do we take this ancient monastic energy and apply it to a high-stakes competitive 2026 landscape? We use the monastic audit. Once you have cleared the sediment, you look at your current life or business strategy. You don't look at how to grow, you look at how to simplify. The monk's secret is that they don't add, they subtract until only the essential remains. In your strategy, there is likely one single leveraged move, one action that, if executed with absolute focus, would render 90% of your current to-do list irrelevant. In the noise, you can't see the lever. In the silence, the lever is all there is. This is tactical clarity. It's the ability to see the battlefield without the fog of war. When you are sequestered, you can simulate outcomes with terrifying precision. You aren't guessing what the market wants. You are deciding what you will impose upon the market. History is filled with strategic recluses. Think of Bill Gates's Think Weeks. Think of Newton during the plague year. Think of Marcus Aurelius writing his meditations in a tent on the edge of a battlefield. They weren't getting away from it all. They were sharpening their focus into a weapon of absolute tactical precision. By the time they returned to the world, they didn't just have a plan, they had a conviction. And in a world of fragmented, shivering attention, a man with conviction is an unstoppable force. You aren't just thinking, you are weaponizing solitude. You are transforming raw quiet into unparalleled clarity. You are building a vision that is noise-proof. The hardest part isn't the silence, it's the return. Eventually, you have to leave the mountain. You have to turn the phone back on. You have to re-enter the connected world of 2026. If you aren't careful, the clarity you forged in isolation will evaporate within an hour of your first notification. You'll be right back in the reactive loop, a slave to the red dot on your screen. To prevent this, you must build a permanent mental cloister. This is an internal psychological structure that allows you to maintain the architecture of silence even amidst the chaos. It's a sovereign mindset. It means you no longer view yourself as a participant in the attention economy. You are an observer. You develop a buffer. You don't respond, you choose. You don't consume, you curate. You realize that your connectivity is a tool you pick up and put down, not a part of your nervous system. You begin to treat your attention as your most valuable strategic asset. You guard it with the same ferocity that a king guards his treasury. This shift transforms you from a reactive participant, someone who reacts to emails, reacts to news, reacts to trends, into a proactive architect. You become the one who sets the pace. You become the one who defines the reality. When you speak from a place of depth. When you act with the weight of someone who has stared into the void and didn't blink. This is the end of the Stoics' final days as you knew them. It is the beginning of your days as a sovereign mind. We've covered a lot of ground today. We've looked at the decay of the modern mind and the ancient rituals of the ascetic. We've mapped the layers of the silence and discussed how to weaponize that clarity for the world we live in now. But here is the truth, the human-written, unvarnished truth. Most of you won't do this. Most of you will finish this video, feel a momentary surge of inspiration, and then immediately check your comments or scroll to the next video. You will let the architecture of silence remain a cool idea instead of a lived reality. And that's okay. The world needs followers. The machine needs fuel. But for a handful of you, the ones who feel a physical ache for depth, the ones who are tired of being connected but feeling empty, this is your blueprint. Your challenge is simple, but it is brutal. Find 72 hours, no phone, no people, no books, just a notebook, a pen, and the architecture of silence. See what remains when the world is stripped away. If you found value in this, not just entertainment, but value, then you know what to do. But don't do it for the algorithm. Do it because you are choosing to subscribe to a different way of living. Share this with the one person you know who is drowning in the noise, not because of virality, but because they need a lifeline. The world is screaming. Let it scream. Your fortress is waiting. We are Stoics' final days. Stay sovereign.